Hey yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Lousy TCG back again with another deck profile video. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Demon Slayer set, specifically the Hashira deck, one of my favorite decks in this set. I think it is very underrated, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, starting off, we have 11 zero costs in this deck. I am trying to high roll and get into my top end as quick as possible. If you wanted to help increase that consistency of seeing your zeros, you could take out the one of Hashira meeting and replace that with another Crow. Crow is the obvious choice for this deck because you are trying to get into your top end as quick as possible. If you're losing tempo towards the end of the game, you're able to rest him and generate double energy. Very good card, especially for late game. Obanai, he's our first zero cost with Hashira in text. You have to have Hashiras on the field. This deck works very much like the 13 Court Guard Squad deck, and having the Hashira names on field gets you your abilities for your top end. You must have this as a 4 of. It does have the draw trigger. Unfortunately, this deck does not have a lot of triggers. It only has 34. Missing out on a lot of raids. We don't have any raids in this deck, so unfortunately you're missing a lot of triggers there. But with trying to get into your top end as quick as possible, triggers aren't really your game plan anyways. Next we have Mitsuri. Mitsuri is our next zero cost Hashira. Activate main, pay 1 AP once per turn. She gains 2,500 BP until the end of the turn, making her a 4K attacker. Very good for late game if you need that final push. You move her forward. Maybe your opponent killed one of your 4Ks the following turn and you need to respond with another 4K. Immediately, you can push her up, pay that AP, get a 4K swing. Next, we have Kaguya. He is our first one cost card. He is very good for late game again. The ability to choose up to one of your AP cards and switch it to active is very good. Sacrificing himself to make sure that you don't lose tempo, especially late in the game when you need it the most. He is a draw trigger. Next, we have Mitsuri. She is a Hashira in name. When played, you choose one character, one or less, and you return it to your hand, so it's that 1/1 bouncer. I don't love 1/1 bouncers, especially because you're losing bodies, but if you pair that with Crow, you are able to bounce him before he is sidelined, so that's usually one of the game plans that I like to do, is immediately use that Crow, get her on board after I play something else, pulling him back to hand since he's going to die anyways. But she is a double energy. You do need quite a few double energies to get into your top end, your 6 cost Gyo maze, so she is a 2 of. Next we have Obanai. He's our 2 cost Hashira. He, when played, you draw a card and trash one card. He is an active trigger. I want to get as many extra triggers into this deck as I can, so I kind of had to fit him in somehow. He is a 2 of. Just draw, cycle through your deck. 3k BP, pretty strong. Next we have Tengen. Tengen has step, double energy for a 3 cost, and he has a draw trigger. Yeah. Next we have Sanemi. Sanemi, I think, is one of the better cards in the deck, especially early game. If you have a combined total of 3 or more Kaguya or other Hashira affinity cards on your field, this character gains 500, making him an immediate 4k attacker. When played, if you have a combined total of 6 or more of those same cards, you can switch him immediately to active when played, so he's able to have rush and immediately swing for that turn. Next, we have Tokito. Tokito just says if there's a purple or red, you can reduce the energy required by 1, making it a 2 cost for double energy. Very good card. One that I think has some flexibility. You could take this out and swap it for something else if you find that you are able to get into your 6 energy backline, but I needed to fit in some more of that double energy, so he's the first choice that I had. Next we have Mitsuri again. This is her 4 energy 2 action cost card. When you play her, if she's on the front line, if you have 3 to 5 of the Hashira or Kaguya cards on the field, you can choose one character with 3k or less on your opponent's front line and sideline it. But if you have a combined total of 6 or more Kaguya or other Hashira cards, it's 4K or less instead. One of the best cards in the deck. It is a color trigger, so I personally think yellow triggers are easily the best in the game. You choose one character on your opponent's front line, switch it to resting, and it remains set to resting. The next time it would be switched to active, especially on their turn. If they swing into life, you get to suspend something, not allowing it to attack you, so you're saving a life, as well as now they have one less body that they are able to block with the following turn. Helps you close out games, could save you. Very good card. I don't love that she's a 2 action, but I understand why, because she is a 4K and because she has a kill ability, but feels a little bad, but she is the best card in the deck. Next, we have Rengoku. I've seen a lot of lists without Rengoku. I think he's another one where you have some flexibility where you can swap him out for somebody else on your top end if you would like. I really like double block. The ability to get double block with only 3 or more Kaguya or Hashira cards on the field is not a hard requirement to hit. You can hit that pretty easily. I also do like that he is a active trigger. Again, I want to get as many triggers in this as possible, so he is one of those. But yeah, 4K double block, I had to add it. Next we have Gyu. Gyu is a nullify impact 4K 4 energy cost card. When played, he basically gains immunity for the turn, so your opponent isn't able to immediately respond by killing him on their turn. He is another active trigger, which again we want to fill as many as possible. He is a 4 of, or a 2 of as well. Next we have Shinobu. She's a 4 energy. Activate main if on front line once per turn. Choose up to one character 1500 or more BP on your opponent's field. It loses 1000 BP until the end of the turn. This is a very nice card, especially if you can get all 2 on the front line. You are more than likely going to be able to get through the 5Ks in the game, get through the 4.5Ks and the 4Ks on your opponent's side of the field, almost forcing them, am I going to block with those and risk losing them, or am I going to take the life? Applies a lot of pressure on your opponent. She, again, you have some flexibility. You could remove her for a different top end card if you would like. You could increase your Gyome's and replace her. That is up to you, but personally I like her at a 2 of. She does have the active trigger as well. Next we have Gyome. The first one, he is a 5 energy cost. When played, you can place 1 card from your hand into your sideline. If you do, you play up to 1 character with the fulfilled required energy, 1 AP cost, and Hashira affinity, other than himself, obviously, from your hand set to resting onto your field. So a cool combo that I like to do is play him, immediately play Shinobu on the front line. Even when she is resting, you do get to activate this ability because it just says the only requirement is if on the front line. Once per turn you can activate it, so I'll immediately play him, play her for free, minus something, and then maybe swing with my Mitsuris or my Gyus, getting over any 4 or 5Ks that I need to. Good card. I could see him being taken out as well for this Gyome exclusively, but that is up to you. I do like the ability to play something for free. Gyome, 6 energy cost. If you have a combined total of 3 or more Kaguya or Hashira affinity cards on the field, he gains impact at 4.5k. Very strong card with impact. The only impact that we have in the deck. I could see an argument of increasing him to 4, but so far I have not had any issues with getting him out and finding him, especially with the Hashira meeting. Hashira meeting is my 1 of. I wish I could get it up to 4, but room is very, very tight in this deck. But it does say, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal 1 card among them, and add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. If the card you revealed has Hashira affinity, choose up to 1 AP cards and switch to active. So you're immediately searching for 4, pick 1. Obviously, it's going to be a Hashira. Your entire deck is Hashiras except for 7 cards in the entire deck. You pull your Hashira. You get to switch an AP to active. You basically played it for free. Free search is a great tool and very rare in this game. It does have the active trigger as well. I could maybe see taking something out on my top end for it, but right now I have it as a 1 of. Next we have the obvious final trigger we run 4 of. And finally, our special trigger: choose one character 3,000 or less on your opponent's front line and sideline it. If you have a combined total of 3 or more Kaguya or Hashira affinity cards on the field, 5k or less. Very easy threshold to make. Um, I find often I have 3 Hashira on my energy line at all times, so it's really not a hard requirement to fulfill. But yeah, that's the deck profile. I think that this is a very underrated deck in my testing. I've beaten Siblings, I've beaten the red Zenitsu deck, I've beaten the Tengen deck. I think that in this format, it might be a sleeper pick. Personally, I think it's a really fun deck, and I think you should give it a try. With that being said, please leave a comment down below. What is your favorite deck for the Demon Slayer set? And if you are going to go to a rare battle for the Demon Slayer set, what deck do you plan on bringing? And please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Have a great day. See ya.